Congratulations for making it to civil services interview.
Thank you.
Would you introduce us about yourself and your educational background?
Okay, so my name is Shubham Singh. My name is Shubham Singh. I've done my graduation in hospitality and hotel administration from IHM Jodhpur. After which I pursued masters in sociology because my optional is also sociology in UPSC, which inclined me to pursue my masters in it. This is my 6th attempt and my first interview.
How was your interview?
I think it was good, and the rest, the human tendency is to show the results. So, based on the result, I would be able to better judge that how was it. In my experience, it was a once in a lifetime. It was an OG experience. I cannot compare it to none. So this was very good.
Would you share some of the questions with us if you can remember clearly?
The questions were mostly upon international relation, MADAF, and hospitality, and some informative non-fiction books that I read. So there were some debatable questions. At some point, I had to disagree with the panel members. At some point, I had to answer them with utmost clarity. So they were seeking clarity rather than my answers per se. So the questions were, for instance, the New START Treaty, and the questions were related to the books that I read, the Sapiens, or the view of Yuval Noah Harari. Some questions about my transition from science to hospitality to UPSC. Some questions about the backup plan, and some question about gym, which I do, strength training, and its comparison with other traditional practices. So these were some of the questions.
What were some of the questions that the board asked you about international relations?
For international relation, he was asking about the New START Treaty, and it has collapsed recently. So should we renegotiate it? Or what role should India play? About AI, linking it to AI, climate change. But it was not a direct question on it, but it was linked to it. So weapons, nuclear energy, resurging in Europe. These were some of the questions they were asking.
What was the question on climate change? Given the humongous effect it has on a country like India.
No, it was not the direct question. It was asked in the context on the book which I read. It was 21 Lessons for the 21st Century by Yuval Noah Harari. In that he mentions about the threats to the humans from climate change, nuclear weapon or AI. In that context they were asking me that, but I wasn't able to recollect what they were asking from the book.
What were some of the questions that the board members asked you which led you to think more about your opinion?
One of the members asked what is crisis and how should we deal with the crisis. So I told them that it can be a preventive measure and there can be some proactive measures, firefighting measures. And then they asked, have ever you been faced with a crisis? So I said a lot, sir. And then they asked, what was your worst where you weren't able to tackle any crisis? So I said, none of them, sir. And he said, so in crisis which you have dealt best. So I recalled an incident from my institutional training in Leela, where I was able to help the guests, 400 of them, who were in utmost discomfort due to long travel and delays in allocation of room. So I was able to do that, and I also cited example from a UPSC preparation where I faced the crisis, but I kept on the spirit high.
You came from, your background was sciences, then you jumped on to hotel management.
Yes.
And finally you were preparing for UPSC.
Yes.
How was the transition from hotel management to UPSC?
I think it is very organic. Science provided me the scientific temper. Hotel management provided me the soft skills. And in civil services or public services, we need both scientific temper and social skills, or skills with the people. So it's very organic to me. But yes, the transition academically is very traversed to a different difficult paths. And my personality holistically developed is because of these endeavors that I have taken in my life.
Yeah, in hotel management, a certain class of people do go to such places, not the middle class.
Absolutely.
Lower middle class. So, what were some of the key takeaways you learned from that industry, and finally you're gonna apply in the civil service as a public servant?
So the first day I was in the institute in Jodhpur, they told me one thing, that guest is God, and you have to treat guest at the center of everything. In public services, we have this concept of citizen-centric administration. So when we treat citizen as something at the center of the welfare administration, then I think the hotel industry too get converged. Apart from that, the departments coordinate well in hotel industry. We can also bring that coordination on the departmental levels in the public services so that the outcomes can be delivered better.
Take us through the journey that you took Like, when did you start preparing for civil services? What's your optional subject? And like reaching up to the interview stage and giving a very brilliant interview today.
Sir, I had still remember the date, 1st Feb 2020. I brought the subscription of an academy when I started preparation. Prior to which I had no idea what UPSC is or why IAS is. In the journey, I've learned a lot. My option was sociology. This was sixth attempt in 6 years, and today, 13th Feb, the circle has come full. So it was a great journey and a lot of learning that I'm taking away with it.
Okay, you have sociology as your option.
Yes.
What are some of the key takeaways or things that you have learned from the sociology and which you had no idea prior to learn sociology?
Sir, I am a believer of your eyes cannot see what your mind doesn't know.